Gabon. Gabon is a Central African country. It is rich in natural resources. Located on the Atlantic Ocean, it borders Cameroon, Equatorial Guinea, and the Republic of Congo. It is sparsely populated with a population of over 2.3 million people. A former French colony, Gabon retains strong ties to France and to the French language and culture. The capital is Libreville. Major languages aside from French spoken there is Fang, Miyene, Nzebi, Eshchira, and Banjabi. Gabon has a horizontally striped green, yellow, and blue flag. The yellow represents the equator, as the equator passes through the country. The green symbolizes the extensive forested area, and the blue reflects the Atlantic coast. The Loango National Park in Gabon is known as Africa's Last Eden and is considered to be one of the best wildlife watching destinations, with animals such as elephants, gorillas, crocodiles, and antelopes found on its savannas, lagoons, and beaches. Join us in this journey as we explore and discover everything that has to do with this beautiful, picturesque country, Gabon. Bienvenue, venez au Gabon. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are doing good and keeping safe. Bonjour, comment ça va? Comment allez-vous? Et votre famille? Excusez-moi, s'il vous plaît. So my name is Efe and I make videos on lifestyle, travel, and everything else in between. Now today we're going to be talking about Gabon. Gabon is a country that is really close to my heart because it holds quite a few memories for me. Gabon is a country in Central Africa, and it is a francophone country, which means it's a country that speaks predominantly French. We're going to be dissecting and diving into what makes Gabon special and definitely what memories it holds for me, and encourages travel within that country. It is not by any means a video that is political or political nature or needs political comments. It is a video purely to celebrate Gabon and the Gabonese people, as well as encourage travel to this unique destination in Africa. The official language, as we said earlier, in Gabon is French, and it also has some local languages. Now, Gabon has about 40 ethnic groups. Gabon is also known as the Gabonese Republic. It is a rich country situated in the central part of Africa. Now, even though Gabon has been termed to be a small country in Africa, its natural resources and its wealth, it can be compared to bigger nations within the continent, rich in natural resources such as oil. Now, Gabon has 13 national parks, and among these parks are Loango National Park, Invindo National Park, and many more. Now, Gabon is home to some of the rarest species of animals, which makes them a fantastic country for tourism and for all of the animal lovers. Now, Gabon is rich in hippos, and it is known as the land of the surfing hippos, as 10% of Gabon's total land is dedicated to the national park, where the hippos are able to wade into the sea and to enjoy this beautiful conservation protection that exists within the country. Now, it is also known as Africa's Last Eden, and obviously, like, when we hear of the word Eden, we know it's a beautiful garden, it's a beautiful landscape, and this can be seen in the Loango National Park, which is one of the largest nature parks in the country, and it is home to gorillas, to lions, to chimpanzees, and crocodiles, and many more animals. So when you do go there, be careful of the crocodiles so you don't get the snip. The largest river in Gabon is River Ogowe. I hope I pronounced that right. And if there's any other facts that we missed out on this beautiful country, please feel free to share that information with us in the comment section. Gabon has an incredible coastline and it is home to a lot of beaches within this beautiful Atlantic coastline. Gabon's largest city is Libreville and is a trading center for the nation's most significant trading produce, which is timber. Gabon has an equatorial climate which predominantly is warm. The dry season lasts from June to August, while the main rainy season falls between October and May. Now, Libreville is such a beautiful city with a lot of attractions to see when you go there. It's got a lot of lounges, hotels where you can actually just relax and enjoy the scenic views with all of the beaches around the city. You have lively markets and the Museum of Arts and Traditions and the Gabon National Museum, which are cultural highlights. It is also known for its vibrant nightlife and music scene. Now, Point Denis is also a spectacular touristic attraction in Libreville. Point Denis is the country's most popular seaside resort, and it offers a number of luxury hotels as well as stunning beaches. Now, the food there is absolutely delicious. You've got a variety of choices to choose from of delicious African delicacies that this country has to offer. It's got the poulet iyembe or moambe chicken, which is like a stewed chicken which is served with veggies or rice. It is so delicious and is cooked uniquely. Palm butter or palm oil, which is quite popular over there. Now, the beautiful thing about the poulet iyembe is it is also a national dish for various other African countries like the Republic of Congo, the Democratic Republic of Congo, as well as Angola. Now, the brochette is also a popular dish in Gabon. It is quite similar to what we know here in Nigeria as suya. Now, this is really delicious. Now, it can be made with chicken or beef and it is marinated in a choice of delicious spices from garlic to parsley to cumin, and it is put in a skewer. It is so delicious, and this is something you totally have to try out when you do visit Gabon. There's also the dongo dongo, which is like a stewed okra dish. It is made with smoked fish and it has ladyfingers or okra as its main ingredient. It also has poisson salé, which would definitely be a favorite amongst fish lovers, as this delicious dish is made using salted codfish mixed with various kinds of veggies that helps to enhance the flavor. You can eat it with rice or atieke, which is a special fermented cassava-based semolina. Oh, and the Congo bars are so delicious. This is one meal you need to try, as you can taste all of the delicious ingredients used, from the sugar to the butter to the flour to the chocolate. You can actually taste all of that coming through. So they also have the fufu, the beignet. They have a lot of dishes that you should try. I'll give you a brief summary of my experience when I went to Gabon. Now, I had gone there to visit my sister. She was living there at the time, and I had gone through Libreville. Now, my final destination was in Libreville. When you hear Gabon, most people would just gravitate towards saying, oh, are you going to Libreville? But my final destination was not Libreville. My final destination when I was going to Gabon was a city called Port Gentil. Now, Port Gentil is so unique because you couldn't go there by road. The only two ways you can get to Port Gentil from Libreville, which is either by boat or by plane. And so when I arrived Libreville, I had to wait a few hours to get a connecting flight, which would take me to Port Gentil. Now, this is where my story becomes interesting. Now, the only downside I would say to my visit to Gabon was the immigration there were a little, I think because of the language barrier, the fact that I'm from an Anglophone country and they're Francophone. Even though I speak a little bit of French, I think the English accented French must have irritated them a bit. I had to wait about 4 hours to get a connecting flight, which would take me from Libreville to Port Gentil, which was where my sister was living at the time, and I was going for Omugo, which is child's visit. Omugo in Nigerian language means when you go and visit a lady who has just had a baby. Now, the interesting thing about my transit from Libreville to Port Gentil was the flight. Now, because Port Gentil is like a hub, the flights are not like your fancy jets and all that. It's not that kind of flight. It literally is like a commercial bus on the air. I mean, don't come for me. I'm just saying that, you know, it wasn't like a fancy flight, because it was just basically a basic flight which would take people to this place, people who were trading, people who lived there, people who were doing business and all that, from one city to the next. So it was one of the most basic flights I'd ever entered, and it was just so interesting because I ended up leaving Libreville maybe about 7:30 thereabouts, you know, and it wasn't a long flight. I just remembered the plane being full. It was a full flight. Now, there was a lady behind me. I think she must have sneaked this chicken in, because there was a chicken on the flight. For real. I think she sneaked the chicken in, because I don't think it's something that was allowed. But I could hear the chuckle of the chicken. I think she had put the chicken in her bag, you know, like the shopping bags and whatnot. The chicken was there, you know, sort of constrained and wrapped, but there was definitely a chicken behind me. Now, the lady who sat next to me had a lot of paintings, you know, I think she was an artist or something. And I, you know, offered to help her carry some of these paintings. You know, it was one of those flights where, you know what, it's just to sit down and get to your destination. There was no fancy smashing, none of that, you know. So I helped her to hold on to some of these paintings because there were a lot. So it was a little bit uncomfortable, but it was quite quick, as I remember. And again, getting to Port Gentil, I had even more immigration frustration. It's a beautiful country, let me say that, and you would notice right off from the airport. So it reminded me a lot of Nigeria, especially like in the 80s. It is very quiet, very leafy. I had the opportunity to explore more, you know, walk around town, visit the shops. The people are very friendly. They're always very eager to assist with my broken French. And I remember we went to a couple of her friends' homes, and I went to a couple of the markets as well. So I think it's something that you definitely have to visit when you go there. Ironically, most people would visit Libreville, but I did the opposite, where I stayed more in Port Gentil as opposed to Libreville. And it was just such a relaxing time for me. I had an amazing experience there. The girls there are so beautiful. Please, oh, it's not for you men to rush there, but I noticed that the girls there were beautiful. Their cuisine and their diet is quite different from Western Africa. You would find quite a few similarities, as I said earlier about the fufu, but their diet is quite different from us. And I think we have shortchanged ourselves as Africans, where we actually don't visit within the continent as much as we travel to further destinations. So I hope I have sort of whetted your appetite in giving Gabon a long-awaited visit. It is one of those countries that is such a gem, and I can definitely assure you that you would enjoy yourself drinking in the sights, the sounds, the culture, and indeed the tastes of Gabon. So I hope you enjoyed the video today. If you did, please don't forget to give it a like and definitely consider subscribing. Until I come your way again, it's me, FA, signing off and out. Au revoir et enchanté.